The phone rings at 7 in the morning. I'm already awake, have been for an hour. Old people don't sleep much. We spend too much time thinking about the past, about the choices we made, about the things we should have done differently. I look at the caller ID. Christmas. She asked how I was. I said, fine. She said she was busy. I said, I understood. We hung up. That's what our relationship became. Sarah. Hi, Mom. Her voice sounds different. Not the controlled CEO voice I've grown accustomed to. Is everything okay? Is Emma okay? Emma's okay. I mean, she's not okay, but she's safe. She's home. Mom, I need to talk to you. Can we meet? Please. In 45 years of being her mother, Sarah has never asked to meet. Never initiated. That cafe, the one near your house, the one we used to go to when I was little. Can you meet me there in an hour? Yes, I'll be there. She hangs up. I sit with the phone in my hand. Something that broke through whatever wall Sarah built around herself. I get dressed. I'm 72 years old. I stopped dressing to impress people decades ago. I look in the mirror, see my mother's face, see my grandmother's face, see all the women who came before me, staring back through my eyes. We all carry our ancestors in our faces, in our patterns, in our damage. The drive to the cafe takes 20 minutes. I pass the old house, the one where we raised Sarah. Remember Sarah at 7, piano lessons every Tuesday. She hated them, but her father insisted. Said she needed discipline. She worked for weeks on her project, but she was so proud. She won 3rd place. Came running to us, blue ribbon in hand. Look, Daddy, I won. Her father glanced at the ribbon. 3rd place, yes. Out of 40 kids, who won first? I watched her face fall, watched the joy drain out of her, watched her learn the lesson that would define her life. Nothing you do is ever good enough. I said nothing. I should have said something, should have told him to stop, should have celebrated her, should have protected her. But I stayed silent, chose peace over protection, chose my marriage over my daughter. That's the truth I live with. The guilt I carry, the failure I can't undo. I park at the cafe. Sarah's car is already there. Rental. The one we used to sit in every Saturday morning when she was little. Before her father decided Saturday mornings should be for extra study, for getting ahead, for being better than everyone else. Sarah looks terrible. No makeup. Broken. She starts crying immediately. Not delicate tears. Gut-wrenching sobs. The kind that come from deep inside. The kind that happen when you've been holding everything in for too long. I reach across the table, take her hand. She grips it like I'm the only thing keeping her from drowning. I ruined everything, Mom, she finally says. I became him. I became Daddy. I became the person I hated most, and I destroyed my family. Emma ran away. She ran away because I'm an absent mother who cares more about success than her own daughter. David left me 2 years ago. I didn't even fight it, didn't even try, just let them go. Because work was easier, because achievement was clearer, because being a CEO made sense and being a mother didn't. And now I've lost everything. Everything that actually matters. The waitress comes. I order coffee for both of us. She leaves. Sarah wipes her eyes, tries to compose herself, fails. I took a leave of absence. 6 months, maybe longer. The board is furious. The investors are panicking. But I don't care anymore. I can't care. I need to fix this. I need to be Emma's mom. But I don't know how. I don't know how to stop being the person I became. I don't know how to be enough without achieving something. There it is, the core wound. The belief her father planted. The belief I let grow. The belief that destroyed her. You were always enough, Sarah, I say quietly. Always, from the moment you were born. You were perfect, whole, complete. You didn't need to achieve anything to be valuable. You didn't need to be the best. You didn't need to prove anything. You were enough just by existing. Then why didn't Daddy think so? Why was nothing I did ever good enough for him? Because your father was broken. His father was the same way, demanding, impossible to please, critical of everything. Your grandfather was a brilliant man. Successful businessman, built a company from nothing. But he was cold, harsh, believed love had to be earned through achievement. Your father spent his entire childhood trying to earn approval he never got. And then he did the same thing to you. You knew that. You saw it. Why didn't you stop him? The question I've been asking myself for 40 years. The question that haunts me. The question I don't have a good answer for. Because I was a coward. Because I was raised to believe that keeping peace was more important than protecting children. Because I thought if I stayed quiet, if I didn't make waves, your father would eventually soften, eventually see what he was doing, eventually change. But he didn't change. He died still believing that love was conditional. That value came from achievement. That being enough meant being better than everyone else. Sarah is quiet, processing, feeling. I'm so angry at you, Mom. I know. You let him hurt me. You watched him destroy my sense of self-worth, and you said nothing, did nothing. Just let it happen. I know. Why? Why didn't you protect me? Because I didn't know how. Because I was damaged, too. Because I thought that's what marriage was. Supporting your husband even when he's wrong. Keeping peace even when peace is poison. I was wrong. I failed you. And I've spent the last 20 years watching you repeat the pattern. Watching you become him. Watching you hurt Emma the way he hurt you. And I still said nothing, because that's what I do. I stay silent. I enable. I watch damage replicate itself across generations. The coffee arrives. We both stare at it. Neither of us drinks. Emma is giving me another chance, Sarah says. I don't know why. I don't deserve it. But she's letting me try. Letting me prove I can change. And I'm terrified, Mom. Terrified I'll fail her again. Terrified I don't know how to be anything other than what I became. Terrified that damage like this can't be healed. I take a breath, prepared to say what I should have said decades ago. What I should have said when Sarah was 7 and her father crushed her joy over a third-place ribbon. What I should have said every day of her childhood. You can heal it. You can break the cycle. But you have to choose it every single day. You have to choose Emma over achievement, presence over success, being over doing. It won't be easy. It won't feel natural. Because you've spent your entire life believing your value comes from what you accomplish. But that's a lie, Sarah. Your value comes from who you are. From your capacity to love, to be present, to choose what matters. Emma doesn't need you to be successful. She needs you to be her mother. Just her mother. Nothing more, nothing less. Sarah nods slowly. Takes a sip of coffee. Her hands are shaking. Dr. Mitchell, my therapist, said the same thing. Said I have success addiction. Said I'm running from feelings of inadequacy by constantly achieving. Said the only way to heal is to stop running. To sit with the discomfort of being ordinary. To find value in just existing. She's right, but how do I do that? How do I undo 45 years of programming? How do I stop believing that my worth is tied to my achievements? The same way you built a $3 billion company, one day at a time, one choice at a time, one moment at a time. You didn't become this person overnight. You won't heal overnight either. But you can start today, right now. By choosing differently. Sarah is quiet. Then she asks the question I've been dreading. Did you love Daddy, even though he was like that? Even though he damaged me? I think about my husband, Richard, dead 5 years now. Complicated man, brilliant, successful, cold, demanding, impossible to please. Did I love him? Yes, I loved him. But I also resented him, feared him, enabled him. I spent 47 years married to a man I could never fully reach. A man who kept everyone at a distance, including me, especially me. We had a marriage, we had a life, but we never had intimacy, real intimacy, the kind that requires vulnerability, because your father didn't know how to be vulnerable, didn't know how to be anything other than successful. Did he love me? The question breaks my heart, because I don't know the answer. I'll never know the answer. I think he did, in the only way he knew how. But his love was conditional, transactional, based on performance. And that's not real love. Real love is unconditional, present, accepting. Your father didn't know how to do that because his father didn't know how to do that. It's a generational curse, passed down from father to son to daughter, an inheritance of damage. I reach into my purse, pull out my wallet. Inside is a photograph. Old, worn, faded. I've carried it for 38 years. I slide it across the table. Sarah picks it up, studies it. It's her, 7 years old, holding a trophy, soccer championship. Her team won first place. She's looking up at someone off camera. Her father waiting for approval. The look on her face destroys me every time I see it. Hope, desperation, pleading. Please, see me, Daddy. Please be proud. Please say, I'm enough. I took this picture, I tell her, right after your team won. You were so happy, so proud. You ran to your father, held up that trophy, waited for him to celebrate you. Do you remember what he said? Sarah stares at the photo, tears falling. He said, you should have scored more goals. You only scored 2. The girl from the other team scored 4. You need to work harder. And what did you do? I stopped playing soccer, quit the team the next week. Told you I didn't like it anymore. But the truth was, I couldn't handle failing him again. Couldn't handle trying my hardest and it still not being enough. I should have said something. Should have told him to stop. Should have pulled you aside and told you that you were amazing. That 2 goals was incredible. That he was wrong. But I didn't. I took this picture, captured your heartbreak, and said nothing. Why did you keep it? Why carry this picture for 38 years? As a reminder of my failure, of the moment I chose silence over protection, of the day I let your father break something in you that never fully healed. I carry it to remember what I did wrong, so I don't forget. So I never forgive myself for failing you. Sarah looks at me. Really looks at me. You're carrying it wrong, Mom. You're using it as punishment, as evidence of your guilt. But maybe you should carry it as motivation, as a reminder of what not to do, as proof that damage doesn't have to continue. She's right. She's absolutely right. But changing how you think about things after 72 years is hard. Patterns run deep. Guilt runs deeper. I watch you with Emma, I say. Watching you repeat the pattern. Watching you become your father. Watching Emma's face as you miss birthdays and recitals and moments that matter. And I stay silent again, still, always. Why? Why do you always stay silent? Because I don't know how to do anything else. Because I was raised to believe that speaking up causes conflict, that rocking the boat destroys families, that keeping peace is more important than telling the truth. But I'm starting to realize that silence doesn't keep peace. It just lets poison spread unchallenged. My silence allowed your father to damage you, and my silence allowed you to damage Emma. I'm complicit in 3 generations of pain. 3 generations. Yes, your grandfather damaged your father. Your father damaged you. You damaged Emma, and I stood by and watched it all happen. Said nothing, did nothing. Just enabled the cycle to continue. Sarah puts the photo down, pushes it back toward me. I don't want this legacy. I don't want Emma to carry a picture of me for 38 years as evidence of how I failed her. I don't want her to become what I became. I don't want the cycle to continue, then break it. Choose differently. Be present. Be the mother your father wasn't. Be the mother I wasn't. Break the curse. How? By staying. By showing up. By proving that love doesn't have to be earned. That Emma is enough just by existing. That she doesn't have to achieve anything to be valuable. By being vulnerable. By admitting when you're wrong. By apologizing. By changing. By doing the hard work of healing yourself so you don't pass your damage to her. The cafe is filling up now. Morning rush. People ordering coffee. Eating breakfast. Living their normal lives. Unaware that in this corner booth, a mother and daughter are trying to untangle 45 years of damage. Trying to understand how love became conditional. How family became performance. How connection became achievement. I'm scared. I'm too broken to change, Sarah says quietly. That the damage is too deep. That I've become this person so completely that I can't unfind my way back to who I was before. Who were you before? I don't know. That's the problem. I don't remember. I don't remember a time when I wasn't trying to be enough. Trying to prove something. Trying to earn love. I remember. You were joyful, curious, creative. You used to make up songs. Sing them to your stuffed animals. Put on shows in the living room. You'd laugh so hard, you'd snort. You had this light in you, this spark. You were magic, Sarah, pure magic. And then your father started criticizing. started demanding, started crushing that light. And I watched it happen, watched the joy drain out of you. Watched you become serious, focused, driven. Watched the magic disappear. I thought it was just growing up, just maturing, but it wasn't. It was damage. It was survival. It was learning to be what he wanted so you could feel safe. Can I get it back? The light, the magic, the joy. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you become something new. Not who you were, not who you became, but someone else. Someone healed. Someone whole. Someone whole. Someone who chooses differently. Sarah finishes her coffee, signals for the waitress, orders another. Emma showed me home videos. From when she was little, I watched myself. Watched the mom I used to be, present, laughing, playing, and I don't recognize that person. I look at her and think, who is that? That can't be me. But it was me. Before the company exploded. Before success became everything. Before I forgot how to be human. You can be that person again. Not exactly. You can't go back. But you can go forward into something better. Something healed. The waitress brings fresh coffee. Sarah wraps her hands around the cup, seeking warmth, seeking comfort, seeking something solid to hold on to. Tell me about grandfather, she says. I barely knew him. He died when I was 12, but I remember him being cold, distant, always working, always serious. Was he always like that? I think about my father-in-law, Henry Kim, immigrant, self-made man, built a manufacturing company from nothing, died wealthy but alone. He was harder than your father, harsher. He survived things we can't imagine, came to this country with nothing, faced discrimination, poverty, struggled for everything he had. He built success through sheer force of will, through sacrifice, through relentless work, and he believed everyone should do the same. Believed comfort made you weak, believed praise made you soft, believed the only way to survive was to be harder than everyone else, stronger, better, more successful. Did he love Daddy? I think so, but his love looked like criticism, like pushing, like never being satisfied. He thought he was preparing your father for a cruel world, thought he was teaching him strength, but what he actually taught him was that love is conditional, that you're only valuable if you're achieving, that rest is weakness, that being ordinary is failure. Your father learned those lessons well, and then he taught them to you, and you never challenged it, never said, this is wrong, never protected your son from his own father. The question isn't accusatory, just curious, trying to understand. No, I was raised to believe that men knew best, that fathers had authority, that women supported but didn't challenge. I came from a traditional family, traditional culture. Speaking up wasn't an option. Protecting your children from their father wasn't done. You endured. You stayed silent. You hoped for the best. And what did hoping get you? A son who repeated his father's damage. A granddaughter I barely know. A legacy of pain passed down through generations. Hoping got me nothing. Action might have gotten me something, but I chose hope over action. Chose silence over protection. And here we are. Sarah is quiet, processing, understanding the layers, the complexity, the way damage replicates across time. When Daddy died, what did you feel? Another hard question. Another truth I've never spoken aloud. Relief. I felt relief. And then guilt about the relief. We'd been married 42 years. I should have felt devastation, should have felt loss. But mostly, I felt free. Free from the constant criticism. Free from the impossible standards. Free from living with someone who never softened, never opened, never let me in. We shared a life, raised a son, but we never truly connected. Not really, not deeply. And when he died, I realized I'd spent 4 decades with someone I never really knew. Someone who never really knew me. What a waste. What a tragic waste. Did you ever think about leaving him? Every day for 20 years, but I stayed. Because that's what you did. Because divorce meant failure. It was cowardice. It was choosing my comfort over everyone's well-being. It was enabling damage to continue unchallenged. Mom, why are you telling me all this? Why now? Because you're at a crossroads. You can continue the pattern. Continue being your father. Continue damaging Emma the way he damaged you. Or you can break the cycle. You can choose differently. You can be the mother I wasn't. The mother your father couldn't be. You can end this legacy of conditional love and impossible standards. But you have to choose it actively, daily, relentlessly. Breaking generational patterns isn't easy. It requires constant vigilance, constant choice, constant commitment. But it's possible, and it's necessary. Because if you don't break it, Emma will carry it. She'll pass it to her children, and the cycle will continue forever. Sarah puts her head in her hands. I'm so tired, Mom. So tired of being this person. So tired of chasing something I'll never catch. So tired of not being enough. I just want to rest. I just want to be okay with being ordinary. I just want to love my daughter without it being tangled up in achievement and metrics and proving something. Then rest. Be ordinary. Love her simply. You don't need permission. You don't need to earn it. You just need to choose it. But what about the company? what about everything I built? What about my legacy? What about it? Will it matter in 50 years? Will anyone remember your quarterly earnings, your stock price, your innovation? Maybe, probably not. But Emma will remember. She remember whether you showed up, whether you chose her, whether you loved her unconditionally. That's legacy. Not buildings or bank accounts or business achievements. Legacy is what you pass to the next generation. Right now, you're passing damage. You could choose to pass healing instead. The words hang between us, heavy, true, uncomfortable. Sarah looks at the photo again. 7 rolled her, holding a trophy, desperate for approval. A moment where she's holding something she's proud of and looking at me for validation that never comes. I don't want her to carry evidence of my failure for 38 years. Then don't give her one. Show up, be present, celebrate her. Not her achievements, her, just her, existing, being, growing. Love her unconditionally, not because she earned it, not because she deserves it, but because she's your daughter, and that's what mothers do. Is it too late? Have I already damaged her beyond repair? I think about Emma, 16 years old, guarded, hurt, but still willing to hope, still willing to try, still willing to give her mother another chance. No, it's not too late. She's still there, still reachable, still yours if you do the work. But you have to actually do it, not just talk about it, not just intend to do it. Actually do it, every day, consistently, permanently. Sarah nods, wipes her eyes, takes a deep breath. I'm doing it. I took the leave of absence. I'm going to therapy. I'm staying at David's house, sleeping on the couch, learning where the mixing bowls are, driving Emma to school, making pancakes, doing normal things, being present. It feels weird, foreign, like I'm wearing someone else's life. But I'm doing it. Good. Keep doing it. Even when it's uncomfortable. Especially when it's uncomfortable. That discomfort is healing. That's what change feels like. Did you ever try to change with Daddy? Did you ever try to make things different? No. I accepted what was. Told myself it was enough. Convinced myself that companionship without intimacy was acceptable. That marriage without real connection was normal. I settled, and I regret it. I regret not demanding more. I let your father stay broken because it was easier than challenging him, easier than risking conflict, easier than possibly losing him. So I kept him, but lost myself in the process. Don't make my mistake, Sarah. Don't settle for broken. Don't accept damage as normal. Fight for healing. Demand it. Choose it. Even if it's hard. Especially if it's hard. A young couple sits down in the booth next to us. Early 20s. Holding hands, laughing, easy affection, uncomplicated love. I watch them and feel envious. Envious of their simplicity, their lack of damage, their ability to just be happy without layers of generational trauma complicating everything. Do you think they're damaged, too? Sarah asks, following my gaze. The couple. Everyone's damaged. Some people just hide it better. Some people heal it. Some people pass it on. We all have wounds. The question is what we do with them. Do we let them define us? Do we heal them? Do we inflict them on others? That's the choice we all make. I want to heal mine. I want to stop passing them on. I want Emma to have a better life than I had. A life where love isn't conditional. Where enough is actually enough. Where she can rest without feeling guilty. Where she can be ordinary without feeling like a failure. Then give her that, starting today. Starting right now. Be the mother who breaks the cycle. Be the mother who chooses healing over habit. Be the mother I should have been. Sarah finishes her second coffee, checks her phone, puts it back down. I notice the restraint, the effort it takes her not to scroll, not to check emails, not to disappear into work. Progress, small, but real. Mom, can I ask you something? She says. Of course, the day Emma was born. Do you remember it? I smile. How could I forget? I remember everything. You were terrified, that you didn't know how to be a mother, that you were going to fail, that you'd figure it out, that love would guide you. And then she arrived. 6 pounds, 8 ounces, perfect, screaming, and they put her in my arms, and I looked at her and I made a promise. Do you remember? I said it out loud. You were there. I do remember. I remember every word. You said, I promise I'll be different. I promise I'll be the mother my father wasn't. I promise I'll love you unconditionally. I promise I'll be present. I promise you'll always be enough. I promise I'll break the cycle. I broke that promise. I broke every single part of it. Yes, you did. Why? Why did I fail? I meant it when I said it. I really meant it. I was going to be different. I was going to give Emma everything I never had. Unconditional love, presence, acceptance. How did I become exactly what I swore I'd never be? This is the question every damaged parent asks. This is the mystery of generational trauma. How we swear we'll be different. How we genuinely intend to break the cycle. And how, despite our best intentions, we often repeat the patterns that hurt us. Because intention isn't enough. Because awareness isn't enough. Because saying you'll be different isn't the same as actually being different. Breaking generational patterns requires constant work, constant vigilance, constant choice. It requires therapy, self-examination, healing your own wounds before you can avoid inflicting them on others. You intended to be different, but you never did the work to actually become different. So when pressure came, when stress hit, when success became available, you defaulted to what you knew, what was modeled for you. Your father's way, achievement over connection, success over presence, proving over loving. I should have gone to therapy 20 years ago. Should have healed my damage before having a child. Should have dealt with my father issues before becoming a mother. But I didn't. I thought love would be enough. Thought good intentions would be enough. Thought I could just choose differently in the moment. But you can't outrun your programming. It catches up to you, especially under stress. No, you can't outrun it. But you can face it, heal it, transform it. That's what you're doing now. Better late than never. Is it better late? Or is it just too late with extra guilt? I reach across the table, take both her hands. Sarah, listen to me. It's not too late. Emma is 16. Still forming, still growing, still reachable. Yes, you've damaged her. Yes, she carry wounds. Yes, she need therapy. But she's not destroyed. She's hurt, but not broken. And if you do the work now, if you actually change now, you can still give her something valuable. Not a perfect childhood. That's gone. But a model of healing. A model of change. A model of taking responsibility and doing the hard work of transformation. That's worth something. That matters. But I stole her childhood. I can't give those years back. No, you can't. And you'll have to live with that. But you can give her the rest. You can give her a mother who's present for her teenage years, for college, for her 20s, for her wedding if she chooses to marry. You can give her a healed mother instead of a broken one. That's worth fighting for. Sarah is crying again. The kind of crying that comes from deep grief, from mourning what was lost, from accepting responsibility, from facing the full weight of what you've done. I robbed her of so much, of dance recitals I missed, of parent-teacher conferences I skipped, of bedtime stories I didn't read, of breakfasts I didn't make, of conversations I didn't have, of moments I can never get back. How do I live with that? How do I carry that guilt without it destroying me? You don't carry it as punishment. You carry it as motivation. You let it remind you why you can't go back. Why you have to keep choosing differently. Why every single day matters. Guilt that paralyzes is useless. Guilt that motivates is valuable. Use it. Let it fuel your commitment to change. I think about my own guilt, about the moments I failed to protect Sarah, about the times I stayed silent when I should have spoken, about 47 years of enabling damage instead of challenging it. I carry that guilt every day. Sometimes it crushes me. Sometimes it motivates me. Today I'm choosing to let it motivate me, to finally speak, to finally tell Sarah the truth, to finally break my own pattern of silence. "Mom, can I tell you something?" Sarah says. "Anything. I'm angry at you, really angry, for not protecting me, for watching Daddy crush me and saying nothing, for enabling his damage, for prioritizing peace over my well-being. I know you were doing the best you could with the tools you had. I know you were damaged, too, but I'm still angry. And I need you to know that the words hurt, but they're true. And I deserve them. I understand. You have every right to be angry. I failed you. Fundamentally, completely. I chose wrong over and over. And my failure contributed to your damage, which contributed to Emma's damage. I'm part of this cycle, too, part of this legacy of harm. And I'm sorry, deeply, truly sorry. Not sorry with excuses or justifications. Just sorry. What I did was wrong. What I didn't do was wrong, and I can't undo it, but I can acknowledge it. I can take responsibility. I can stop pretending my silence was acceptable. It wasn't. I hurt you, and I'm sorry. Sarah nods, wipes her eyes. Thank you for saying that, for not defending yourself, for just acknowledging the harm. That's all I needed. Not explanations, just acknowledgement. You're welcome. And Sarah, you can be angry at me and still heal. Those things aren't mutually exclusive. Be angry, process it, work through it in therapy, and also heal, also change, also break the cycle. Both things can be true. We sit in silence for a while. The cafe noise around us, clinking dishes, coffee machines hissing, conversations blending into white noise. To women, mother and daughter. 3 generations of damage between us. Trying to find a way forward. Trying to break what's been broken for so long. I need to tell you about Emma's birth, I say. The part you don't remember. After you made your promise. After they took Emma to be cleaned and weighed. You fell asleep, exhausted, and I held Emma, my granddaughter. I promised I wouldn't make the same mistakes with her that I made with you. I promised I'd speak up. I'd intervene. I'd break my pattern of silence. And then I failed that promise too. I watched you become your father. Watched you hurt Emma. And I stayed silent. Again, still, always, I enabled another generation of damage. And I hate myself for it. Mom, ... double quotes. No. Let me finish. I need to say this. I've been silent for 72 years. I'm done being silent. Emma is 16. Hurt, angry, but still willing to hope. Still willing to try. And I'm telling you right now, if you fail her again, I won't be silent anymore. I'll speak up. I'll intervene. I'll tell you the truth, even if you don't want to hear it. I'm breaking my pattern too, starting today. I'm choosing my granddaughter over peace, over your feelings, over my own comfort. I'm choosing to protect her the way I should have protected you. With something that might be pride. Good. I'm glad. Emma needs someone to protect her, even from me, especially from me. So yes, do that. Speak up, intervene, challenge me, hold me accountable. I need that. We all need that. I will, I promise. And Mom, I'm breaking my pattern too. I'm choosing Emma every day, no matter what, even when it's hard, even when work calls, even when success beckons. I'm choosing her. Watch me, hold me to it. And if I falter, remind me. Remind me of this conversation. Remind me of what matters. Remind me that I promised to break the cycle. We leave the cafe an hour later. The morning has turned into afternoon. Time disappeared while we talked, while we excavated decades of damage, while we tried to understand how love became conditional across 3 generations, how enough became impossible, how presence became performance. Sarah walks me to my car. We stand in the parking lot, sun shining, birds singing. Normal, beautiful day, completely at odds with the heaviness of our conversation. Thank you, Mom, she says, for telling me the truth, for not sugarcoating it, for taking responsibility. That's all I ever wanted. Honesty, acknowledgement, someone willing to break the pattern with me. You're welcome. And Sarah, I mean it. I'm watching. I'm paying attention. And if you slip back into old patterns, I'll say something. I won't be gentle about it. I won't prioritize your feelings over Emma's well-being. I'm done doing that. I'm done being silent. This is my change, my healing, my break from generational patterns. She hugs me, really hugs me. Not the polite, obligatory hugs we've exchanged for years. Real embrace, tight, meaningful, desperate. I love you, Mom, even though I'm angry, even though you failed me, even though our relationship is complicated and messy and full of wounds. I love you, and I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because holding on to anger is exhausting, because I want to heal, because forgiveness is for me, not for you. I forgive you. I start crying. Didn't expect that. Didn't expect forgiveness. Didn't think I deserved it. Don't think I deserve it. But I accept it, gratefully, humbly, thank you. But thank you, and I love you, too. I always have. I just didn't know how to show it. Didn't know how to protect you. Didn't know how to be anything other than what I was. But I'm learning. I'm changing. We're changing together. Better late than never. She pulls back, wipes her eyes. I've been there every day this week, and I'll be there every day next week, and the week after, and the week after that. I'm proving it, one day at a time. One choice at a time. One moment at a time. Good. Keep proving it. Keep choosing. Keep showing up. That's how you break cycles. Not with grand gestures, with small, consistent choices. Day after day after day, I watch her drive away. Watch her rental car disappear down the street, and I feel something I haven't felt in years. Hope, not naive hope, not blind hope, but realistic hope. The kind that acknowledges damage while believing in possibility. The kind that sees wounds while trusting in healing. The kind that accepts the past while choosing a different future. I get in my own car, drive home. My house is quiet, empty, has been for 5 years since Richard died. Sometimes the silence is peaceful. Sometimes it's lonely. Today it's reflective. I make tea, sit in my favorite chair, the one by the window. The one where I read and think and remember and regret. I think about Henry, my father-in-law, hard man, cold man, damaged man. He built success through sacrifice, through relentless work, through never being satisfied. And he passed that template to his son, who passed it to his daughter. 3 generations of believing enough was impossible, of tying value to achievement, of making love conditional on performance. But maybe it stops here. Maybe Sarah breaks it. Maybe Emma grows up knowing she's enough just by existing. Maybe healing is possible. Maybe cycles can be broken. Maybe I think about my own mother, gentle woman, quiet woman, silent woman. She never challenged my father, never spoke up. She just endured, smiled, kept peace, and I learned from her. Learned that women stay quiet. That women prioritize harmony. That women enable rather than challenge. I became her, repeated her pattern, passed it to Sarah through modeling. 3 generations of women who didn't speak up, who didn't challenge, who didn't protect their children from damaged men. But maybe it stops here, too. Maybe I break it. Maybe I keep my promise to speak up, to intervene, to protect Emma, even if it means conflict. Even if it means breaking my 72-year pattern of silence. Maybe the phone rings. I check the caller ID. Sarah. Hi, honey. Everything okay? Everything's fine. I just picked up Emma from school. We're going to look at college brochures together. Plan some campus visits. Mom, she's letting me in. She's actually letting me in. We're talking, really talking. And it's awkward and uncomfortable and full of unresolved hurt. But we're trying. We're building something new, something healed, something different from what we had. I smile, feel tears coming. That's wonderful, Sarah. That's everything. Keep building. Keep trying. Keep choosing her. I will, I promise. No, scratch that. I won't promise. I'll just do it. Every day, consistently, permanently. She's my daughter, and I'm going to be her mother. Finally, fully, completely, good. I'm proud of you. I know I haven't said that enough. I know I should have said it more when you were growing up. When you got third place in the science fair and your father criticized you. When you won the soccer championship and he said you should have scored more goals. When you built a billion-dollar company and he said, call me when it's really significant. I should have said, I'm proud of you. Should have said, you're enough. Should have said, you're amazing. But I didn't. I stayed silent. So I'm saying it now. I'm proud of you. Not for your achievements, not for your company, not for your success. I'm proud of you for choosing to heal, for choosing to change, for choosing your daughter. That takes courage, real courage, the hardest kind. And I'm proud of you for having it. Sarah is quiet. Then, thank you, Mom. That means everything. More than you know. More than I can say. Thank you. We hang up. I sit with the phone in my hand, thinking, remembering, hoping. I think about damage, about how it replicates, about how it passes from generation to generation like a virus. How parents hurt children who grow up to hurt their children, who grow up to hurt their children. An endless cycle of unhealed wounds, creating new wounds. But I also think about healing, about how it's possible, about how cycles can be broken, about how damaged people can choose to become healing people, about how generational trauma can end with conscious choice, with hard work, with therapy, with commitment, with love that's stronger than patterns, with courage that's bigger than fear. Sarah is choosing healing. She's doing the work, going to therapy, taking leave from work, being present, making pancakes, driving Emma to school, showing up, day after day after day, proving that change is possible, that people can transform. That damage doesn't have to be permanent. And I'm choosing healing too. I'm breaking my silence. I'm promising to speak up, to intervene, to protect Emma, to challenge Sarah if she slips. To be the grandmother I should have been from the beginning. To model courage instead of compliance. To show that it's never too late to change. That healing is possible at any age. That 72-year patterns can be broken. Maybe it's not too late. Maybe we can still salvage something. Maybe Emma will grow up wounded, but not destroyed. Hurt, but healing. Damaged, but not broken. Maybe she learned from watching her mother change. Watching her grandmother change. Watching 3 generations of women choose healing over habit, courage over comfort, truth over silence. Maybe she break patterns we don't even see yet. Maybe she'll be healthier than any of us. Maybe she'll give her children something we never had: unconditional love, consistent presence, acceptance without achievement, enough being actually enough. Maybe I finish my tea. Look out the window, see the world continuing. People walking, cars driving, life happening, everyone carrying their own damage, their own wounds, their own generational patterns. We're all doing the best we can with the tools we inherited. Some of us heal. Some of us pass our damage forward like a cursed inheritance. But some of us break the cycle. Some of us choose differently. Some of us do the hard, painful work of transformation. Sarah is one of those people. Emma might be too. And maybe, just maybe, so am I. This is Thursday. The grandmother's perspective. My truth. My failure. My hope. My promise to finally speak up. To finally protect. To finally break my pattern of silence. 5 voices. 1 truth. This is mine. We are all broken. We are all damaged. We are all carrying wounds we didn't choose and inflicting wounds we didn't intend. But we are also capable of healing, capable of change, capable of breaking cycles that have run for generations. It's not easy, it's not quick, it's not guaranteed, but it's possible. And possible is enough to hope for, enough to try for, enough to fight for. Sarah is fighting, Emma is trying, and I'm hoping. We're 3 generations of Kim women trying to break what's been broken for so long. Trying to heal what's been wounded across decades. Trying to choose differently despite programming that runs deep. We might fail. We might succeed. We might fall somewhere in between. But we're trying. And trying is how healing starts. Trying is how cycles break. Trying is how generational damage finally stops. So we try every day. 1 choice at a time. 1 moment at a time. 1 generation healing so the next generation doesn't have to carry the same wounds. That's our legacy now. Not damage. Healing, not wounds. Transformation, not brokenness. Courage to change. That has to be enough. That will be enough. I am 72 years old. I have lived through 72 years of staying silent, of choosing peace over protection, of watching damage replicate and saying nothing, I enabled my husband's cruelty. Watched my granddaughter inherit it. 3 generations of harm that I could have stopped, should have stopped, didn't stop, but I'm stopping it now. I'm breaking my pattern. I'm choosing courage over comfort, truth over silence, protection over peace. Better late than never. Better now than never. Sarah is 45. She has spent 45 years chasing enough, chasing approval, chasing something that was always impossible because her father made it impossible. And now she's stopping. She's healing. She's changing. She's choosing her daughter over her damage, choosing presence over achievement, choosing love over success. Emma is 16. She has spent 16 years being second, being forgotten, being not enough, and now she's choosing hope, choosing to try, choosing to let her mother back in, even though it's terrifying, even though it might hurt again, even though hope has failed her before. 3 generations, 3 women, 3 choices to break what's been broken, to heal what's been wounded, to transform what's been damaged. Will we succeed? I don't know. But we're trying. And trying is everything. Trying is how cycles break. Trying is how healing happens. Trying is how families rebuild from ruins. So we try, we choose, we heal together. One day at a time, one moment at a time. One generation breaking so the next generation can be whole.